Welcome to Q2 Players. I would like to introduce our fabulous actors in the play Neighbourhood Watch, written by myself. We have in no particular order Denise Tomlinson playing Esme, Andy Cox as Philip, Lynn Harrison playing Safi, Neelak Sadhu as Romit, Mandy Gasson as Kathy, Chris Hodges playing Jaden, sound and effects Mandy Gasson, music and lyrics written by myself and sung by James. Thanks very much. Have a good evening.
It's a wonder. It's a wonder how we all get along. It's awkward and nice, a bit like sugar and spice. We are the Neighbourhood Watch, looking out for you.
I said good morning and she walked right past me.
Oh dear.
Well, maybe she's deaf.
Kathy, remind me later. I've got something very interesting to tell you.
Really? Ooh,
I,
got me in suspense now.
I said maybe she's deaf.
I am just trying to find all the photocopies of the agenda for this meeting. Won't be a minute, bear with me. Romit, did you, oh no, it's okay, I found it.
We have been waiting 15 minutes. Well, I hope you added my lost pussy to this agenda, Philip. You know, quite a lot of pussies have gone missing in the neighbourhood recently.
If I'd have lost mine, I'd be a shadow of my former self.
Kathy, weren't you supposed to be typing up the A5 posters for Esme? Romit, weren't you supposed to have attached them to the trees in the street?
Alternate trees in the street, not every tree.
Oh yes, right you are, Jaden.
I was, but my computer's playing up, and so
Esme, I have kept a lookout on my practice runs for
Bubbles, my beautiful Bubbles.
yes, bubbles, and no luck so far, obviously. Do you think it might just be locked in someone's shed by accident? I could pop my head down the communal back alley after my training session and listen out by the sheds. Also take a look over the garden walls too.
Let's do this in an official manner, please, and discuss in order of the agenda.
Order! I do like the sound of that. And I agree, no communal back alleys.
Let's, Safi, no.
Yes?
I mean, Kathy, would you pass around the agenda for tonight's meeting? Yes, I agree, Jaden, we have to. But getting back to your initial question, Esme, yes, of course Bubbles is included in the agenda for tonight's meeting, amongst the other cats in the area that have gone missing. With all due respect, Esme, can we save this discussion until it comes up, as all the items on the agenda are numbered for a reason?
Hear, hear.
Not in order of importance, then.
No order of importance, Esme, although we do really want to spend some time discussing this when it comes up in the agenda.
I'm really sorry my computer's not working properly. I mean, to be honest, I should never have offered to do it, but I don't like letting people down.
Oh,
Are you okay, Romit?
I did a marathon the other day and I don't think I've replaced the salt in my diet enough.
When you're quite ready, can we please proceed?
What you need is one of my hearty soups and a good massage.
Well, that's very kind of you, but I don't think that will bring back my pussy.
I was talking to Romit.
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
Can we please all take a look at the agenda? we have got quite a lot to get through, which reminds me, funny enough, about a lecture I am presenting next week about the awful conditions apprentice printers suffered in Paris in the 1730s. In a nutshell, they massacred their master's cats because they gave their pets more favours than them. Their working conditions.
That was really incredibly insensitive of you, Philip.
Here, here.
Here, here.
Item 1. Jaden, did you manage to get an update from PC Ruffton concerning the stolen car number plates of Mrs. Munston at number 52 and Mr. Dabrowski at number 102?
He is on holiday, but I have a camera attached to my front door facing the street and one attached to my bike on the front and the back. I have been cycling up and down at least 5 times a day, checking the street.
It was you? Oh my gosh. I thought you were one of those, drug couriers, and I called the police on 101.
What?
Well, but you know how they keep cycling up and down the street from time to time.
I could do with that. I mean, how handy. I mean, would you help me write down a list? I need my prescription and some eardrops. Yes, some syrup of figs. It's a bit cheeky, I know, but Pond's face cream would be marvellous.
Order.
Getting back to the point in question, we need to update the street. Will you print up some flyers to pop through the doors? Huh?
I said my computer's not working.
Printed and already here. I am on target.
Well, couldn't we just send it on the Neighbourhood Watch email to everyone? Or is that just a bit too simple?
Oh, Sappy, you're such a stirrer. Well, as I am Mr. Out and About, I knocked on a few doors to find out if anyone had seen anything suspicious during one of my practice runs.
Well, you didn't knock on my door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I'm going to knock on your door, ring on your bell, tap on your window too. If you don't come out tonight when the moon is bright, I'm going to knock and ring and tap until you do.
Oh, you go for it, Esme.
Great! I mean, great. Yes. No. Thank you, Jaden. And I know not everyone is on email, so best to have sent a hard copy to everyone. Let's move on to the second item this evening, as we are running behind now and I have to prepare for tomorrow's lecture.
What's a hard copy, Philip?
If only you.
Esme, I will explain at the end of the meeting.
Well, there is no need to speak to me with that tone of voice.
I apologise. It's just that we really must.
I can't believe you did that.
I said I was sorry.
Kathy, I just can't believe that you call the police. You do know that I volunteer with the traffic police.
How was I supposed to know it was you? You don't normally run around with covering yourselves in hats and scarves.
Oh, how could you not spot the gorgeous Jaden with his broad shoulders and muscular thighs on his bright green bike?
Well, I'd rather... What are we discussing next on the agenda?
Oh, don't tell me you can't read as well as see.
Can we please carry on with the... Yes, Romit?
I just need to get a glass of water and take some painkillers.
What killers? Who is in pain? When did this happen?
No pain and no killers, Esme dear. Item 3 on the agenda, conservation. As you all know, our road is in a conservation area and people are willy-nilly chopping down large trees in their back garden to build an annex.
I know exactly who has and who hasn't had planning permission from the council to cut down trees, etc.
How did you find that out?
When PC Ruffton is back from his holiday,
Why are you shouting? I'm not that deaf.
I will assist him with the next procedural steps and inform you at the next meeting.
Very good, Jaden, thank you. You are taking notes from this meeting, Romit.
Oh, well, yes. Well, I'm just whispering it into my phone recorder. I've got a bit of a migraine, and I can't write it down as my eyes hurt.
Oh, ingenious. You know all the tricks of the trade, doesn't he, Kathy?
Tricks of what trade?
Oh, for goodness sake, Kathy, it's lost on you, dear. It looks like you need to spice up your life a bit.
With all due respect, Romit, I find it very distracting. Kathy, will you please take over the notes of tonight's meeting, writing them down, of course?
Writing them down, of course, yes. Thank you.
Is there a parrot in the room? Writing them down, of course. Thank you.
I never said thank you, so how can it be like a parrot? Item 4. The feline exodus.
My poor
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yes, we know.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, yes.
It's not just Bubbles that has departed from their usual habitats, but Mr. Warren's at number 30 and Mr. Rodokanaki's at number 121.
Oh, I went to school with Mrs. Rodokanaki's daughter. We used to call her Miss Napperpants for short.
1, 2, 1. Do you remember the programme with Ted Rogers, 3, 2, 1? It was so clever, the way the presenter used to use his fingers. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I've got
3,
it.
2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Sources of milk.
What?
Sources of milk. That's what we should use to attract the missing cats.
Yes, and I can put some cameras up in the areas where we are putting out the sources of milk. And I can catch this experiment with my phone.
You are both marvellous young men. What a wonderful idea. And when I find my cat, I will put my best frock on and invite you round for an afternoon tea celebration.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Shall I write that down?
No.
Oh,
Okay, I didn't mean what Esme said. I'm not stupid, you know.
Here you are, pet. Have a good cry. You're a very sensitive soul, aren't you?
Sorry, I just haven't been sleeping. That bloody neighbour of mine makes my nerves all jingly-jangly.
With all due respect, we really do need to power through and continue with this meeting.
Yes, sorry. Item 5. It's very timely. This is my call regarding the neighbour who keeps cutting up wooden pallets with his wood machine, making an awful racket. He keeps nailing them to his large shed in the middle of his garden. To keep the rain out, I presume. But he also builds other little sheds from all the wood, and he stores all these pallets in the front of his house, and it looks unsightly, and he's got about 3 hardly ever used, taking up parking spaces in our street, and it just... Oh.
take a deep breath, Kathy. Oh, would you like me to carry on for you?
No, I'm fine. Thank you. Getting back to the cutting up of his pallets. He makes a terrible screeching sound at the most ungodly of hours. I mean, it's not just me he upsets, you know. The sound covers about 10 houses each way, and more with less intensity, but all the same, it's awful.
Yes, I hear it too. What is he using?
Well, I know for a fact it's a circular saw that he's using.
How do you know, Jaden? Do enlighten us.
I am an avid bird watcher and listener of bird calls, as you all know. And I happened to be using my binoculars when he started making this dreadful racket a few weeks ago. All for a good cause, you know, circumstantial.
What does it sound like?
Well,
Oh, that's not very loud for a circular saw.
I thought you meant the bird call. I was impersonating the common garden bird, the robin. It can operate a noise level above or about 110 decibels. I have already researched this, and it can be dealt with by the council. We need to arrange a meeting and for them to agree for you to use the recording devices and log the events in a diary, times, dates, etc.
It sounds a bit like this from it.
That sounds a bit more like my bubbles.
No, it's more like this.
I think we get the picture and sound in one. Thank you, Jaden and Kathy. Are you okay to call the council and start the ball rolling?
Yes.
Oh,
Kathy?
yes. Thank you. Yes.
Item 6. We are now getting through this all quite nicely. A neighbour at number 104 has been complaining of smelling unusual substances which have been wafting through her bedroom window in the evening. She also said that these smells start as early as 11 a.m. and she can smell them when she is out doing the gardening too. She believes it may be coming from either 106 or 102.
Safi, don't you live next door to the complainant? What number are you again?
And your point is?
Oh, this meeting is about resolving issues, not a finger-pointing exercise. Thank you, Jaden.
Daphne, do you think that maybe,
Your questions are like accusations.
Do you think that maybe...
Darling Jaden, you may be an asset to this neighbourhood.
Daffy, do you think that maybe...
But your comments can be incredibly invasive and accusatory at times.
Let the poor girl speak. Oh, damn and blast, now I've dropped a stitch.
Thank you, Esme, and I'm sorry you dropped a... Look, Safi, do you think that maybe it could be called...
Oh, for goodness sake, Kathy, spit it out, darling. Shout what you have to say from the bloody rooftop.
That it may be your lodger. There, I said it.
Well, that would make sense perhaps, Safi. What do you think?
I'll have a word with them. Him.
How many lodgers do you have renting in your home?
Well, how else am I supposed to make ends meet since my selfish, mean old husband left me running off with the cleaner like that? But they are great company, too.
The cleaner and your husband?
Why would I care about them? No, my lodger.
I bet they are.
Sorry, Jaden, didn't quite hear that.
How many lodgers do you have?
So many questions.
Okay. Thank you, Safi. If you would have a discreet word with your lodgers, and we will take it from there.
As I said, well, yes, I will. Okay, yes, I will do.
Item 7. Now, this is a tricky one. As you are all aware, Mr. Gale from number 92 is a hoarder, and his house from the outside is virtually falling apart. The council can't do anything yet until it becomes a danger to the public.
Well, preventative measures are far too sensible an approach for the council. Well, just let someone have something fall on their heads. Hey?
Didn't he inherit the house from his mother? It's an utter eyesore in our street. Won't help the housing market in our road either.
Yes, he did, about 10 years ago. More importantly, I think we need to work out a monthly rota and check up on him. See if he needs any help, DIY, shopping, tidying, etc. He is more and more reclusive these days. Hands up, who wants to go and see him this month? Eh? Well, don't all rush at once.
You can't expect me to do anything physical. My knees aren't that great,
We aren't expecting you to do the can, Esme. Well, how about making some of your amazing toffee and blackberry crumble cakes?
I was very good at the can in my day, thank you. How in God's name is that going to help his situation? Suddenly, a strange neighbour turns up with cakes. It sounds a bit Grimm's fairy tale to me.
Why don't you spice up the cakes with some of the substances from Safi's lodgers? We might chill Mr. Gale out a bit and slow down on the hoarding.
Woohoo! Now you're talking. Oh, I am shocked at you, Kathy.
And we have some sensible suggestions, or come back to this item on the agenda next month, huh? As no one seems to be taking this seriously, this is really sad, in my opinion.
Hear, hear.
Hear what, Jaden? Have you got something important to say?
I was just agreeing with Romit, that's all. Talking about Can-Can and spiking Esme's cakes is not very constructive.
Oh, nice contribution from Jaden.
Here, here.
With all due respect, Romit, we are not coming back to this item on the agenda. We need to make a plan now. It has been going on for far too long, and we owe it to our community to look out for our neighbours. I will start off the rota and pop round this Sunday. Romit, will you do the next one, say, in 2 weeks?
When you pop round, you'll need to make sure you have Vicks up your nose or breathe through your mouth. The place reeks of dead everything.
Ew.
Intriguing, Jaden. What took you around to see Mr. Gale? Why didn't you say anything earlier? When was this?
We are all taking our turns to discuss, and I am taking an order of events on the item on the agenda. Well, now you ask. The door was open when I was cycling up and down a few weeks ago, checking on the car theft situation. Then when I came back up the road, it was still open. So I popped my head round the door and called out. He was hidden amongst his pile of boxes and papers in an armchair. Barely saw the top of his head. He said he must have forgotten to close the door properly on his way back from the shops. His front door would have been open all night and through to the following afternoon well, I don't think he goes shopping until the evening.
And you would know all of this how?
Am I being interrogated for being neighbourly?
No, of course you aren't. Romit?
I volunteer to cover for PC Ruffton's patch when he is on holiday, that's all. He usually does a walk around about, once a week down our street. He doesn't know I do it, but, I would be grateful if you just kept this to yourselves.
You are coming from a good place, Jaden. Thank you for pointing this out. So, Romit?
I can try and encourage him to do some exercise. I'll call around 2 weeks on Sunday.
Marvellous.
Oh, I could go round after you, Romit. Safi, would you come with me? We could offer to do some cleaning or something.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, but I'm going to have to be really careful not to gag or retch. Vicks, you say?
In the police force, they use it to cover the stench of dead bodies in houses and in morgues. I would definitely recommend you use it.
Great. And once we have seen Mr. Gale, we can put together an action plan and probably get social services to take the situation more seriously. Kathy, you are writing this down.
Sorry, which bit?
All of it. The main points.
Do you need my hanky, dear?
No, thank you, Esme, dear.
What are you doing,
Nothing.
Kathy?
I just wrote a bit too much detail, that's all.
Better to be thorough.
Have you been drinking, Romit?
All this questioning of everyone.
No, I have a headache, that's all. Feeling a bit woozy.
Let's not have any more disagreements. We are doing very well so far. Thank you, Kathy. What is the time? I seem to have forgotten to put my watch on.
No, you left it upstairs last night on the bathroom shelf.
Oh, go Philip! Go Philip! Oh, it's always the reserved ones, you dark horse!
Excuse me a minute whilst I have a private word with Romit.
Oh, it is a bit stifling in here.
What's wrong with you?
Wrong with me?
Why did you say that? Our private life is our private life. any excuse for these nosy committee neighbours to intrude, and they will, especially with Safi and her extrovert mouth. It will be around the whole street in no time.
Exactly. It's all about you, what you want. It was an honest mistake. I don't see why you have to make such a big deal about this.
A big deal! Everyone is entitled to their privacy. Just because I manage the Neighbourhood Watch Committee doesn't give people the right to know my business. Why have you gone all George Michael on me wearing sunglasses, for Christ's sake? It's very difficult to have a meaningful conversation
Meaningful?
with you.
Not that you've noticed, but I have a migraine. What exactly is all this about, anyway?
Privacy.
Privacy from what?
Please take those blasted glasses off.
No one cares, Philip.
I do care about you having a migraine.
No one cares about us.
It's just, well, it's difficult, since I lost my parents over this summer, and my emotions are feeling quite raw at the moment.
It's a
Only me. Esme needs the toilet and the communal lavatory door is locked for some reason.
Right, coming.
No! You have to do it sometime. Be honest with who you are. To yourself, at least. But you have two choices. Be someone you are not, and make peace with your parents. Or live the life you've been given. Being you. I know I'm being a bit deep here, and it's easy to say, but...
You are great, you know that.
You are worth it.
It's only me again. It's just to let you know that Safi found a potty left out from one of the playgroup sessions.
Were you listening to our conversation? I said I was coming out, not out. Oh, you know what I mean. I thought you had just gone to sort it.
No, well I did. I'm sorry. Everyone's now arriving outside the cupboard door. Sorry.
It's utterly degrading, honestly. Having to hide in the corner of the hall. No privacy at all. What has this church hall come to? It's going to take me weeks to get over this humiliation, this embarrassment.
Oh, we love you, Esme. Don't worry about it. Life's too short. And we'll look back in a few weeks' time with tears of laughter running down our cheeks.
I will bear that in mind.
Yup, we need to get a copy of the other keys for these premises. The toilet and the cupboard room, the one you're in, and the kitchen. The main door one is just not good enough. You are listening to all this, Philip, Romet?
Yes?
Yes.
This can't happen again. A disgrace. It's a health and safety issue. Another thing to add to the agenda next month. I can't imagine it will go away with just a simple phone call to the vicar. Action planning is what is needed indeed. In a way, Esme, it is a good thing this happened, as we have highlighted an issue before becoming a downright hazard.
No, it blooming isn't a good thing. I will have the vicar's guts for garters, I tell you.
Oh, I'm going home. I need a lie down. I think I have one of Romet's headaches brewing.
Anyway, Philip, Romit, I think we're all going now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
He never did tell me what a hard copy was.
See? I told you. No one cares.
It's a wonder. It's a wonder that we all get along. It takes a good team to crack all the crime and the flack. We are the Neighbourhood Watch, looking out for you.